Dust hangs in the air like ghosts that won't move on. The town is sun-bleached, war-worn, and lonesome. The kind of place God once passed through, but didn't stay. Buildings lean like tired men, every porch sagging, every sign faded. A mangy dog watches from under a wagon, tail still. The only noise is a wind, tugging at loose shutters and lifting dirt into aimless spirals. A crowd gathers in the square. Women clutch rosaries. Men cross arms, mouths thin and quiet. At the center, a crude wooden platform stands like a gallows without the noose. But the shame it holds is worse than any hanging. On that platform, barefoot and hollow-eyed, stands a girl of 13, thin as a fence rail. Her long blonde hair is tangled, stained with travel and blood. In her arms lies a newborn, swaddled in a coarse sackcloth blanket. The baby doesn't cry, just whimpers with a fragile breath of something too new for this world. A crooked man in a greasy vest and a string tie clears his throat. Hollis Bate, self-appointed auctioneer, smirks with tobacco-yellowed teeth. "This here," he announces, voice grating like iron on bone, "ain't no orphanage, folks. She was found wandering the river bend 2 nights ago. Babe in arms. Starving. Silent. Sheriff says she won't speak. So we're speaking for her." A few murmurs rise. A mother grips her own child tighter. Sheriff Clive Dunn, fat, balding, and soaked in sweat under a badge that means less every year, leans against a post. He takes a swig from a steel flask and wipes his mouth with the back of his hand. No family. No money. No name. Hollis continues. "So the question is, who's going to take her in? One bid. You feed her. She's yours. Or we put her on a train to Cheyenne and let the sisters deal with her." The girl's gaze never leaves the horizon. Her arms tighten around the baby. One foot twitches, just once, as though she's thinking about running. A long silence. No hands go up. "Come on now," Hollis presses. She's young. Strong. Baby don't even cry. That's a quiet mouth and 2 extra hands when she's grown. A man snorts in disgust. A woman spits in the dirt. "She ain't livestock," someone mutters. From behind the crowd, hoofbeats echo like a memory. Slow, measured, unhurried, a tall figure on horseback emerges. A man cloaked in a trail-stained duster, dust-covered hat pulled low over his brow. He dismounts with the grace of a man who used to ride for cavalry. Boot heels crunch dry gravel. He's sun-leather, maybe late 40s, with sharp jaw and a tired soul tucked behind glacier blue eyes. A rifle is slung across his saddle. He moves with quiet weight, like he's carrying things no one else can see. This is Randel Briggs. He doesn't speak right away, just walks up to the edge of the platform, staring at the girl. She doesn't blink. Her eyes are wary, not afraid, the kind of stare you earn after losing too much too early. "What's her name?" Randel asks softly. "Don't know," Sheriff Dunn replies. "Ain't said a word. Not since we found her." Randel tilts his head. "She hurt?" "No marks but what the land put on her. No tracks. No story." Randel looks at the baby, then back at her. A long pause. "You got a name, little miss?" The girl just shifts her weight and lowers her chin. One hand rocks the baby gently. Her eyes flick to the saddle rifle, then back to Randel's eyes. She's sizing him up. "She was covered in blood when we found her," the sheriff adds. "Didn't match hers. We think something bad happened." The crowd listens, caught between discomfort and curiosity. Hollis shrugs. "So what'll it be? You takeen her, mister? Or we send her to the nuns?" Another silence. Randel slowly removes his hat. "I'll take em." Murmurs ripple. A few audible gasps. One man chuckles. A woman nearby exhales, as though she'd been holding her breath. "You sure?" Sheriff Dunn raises a brow. "That's 2 mouths. Ain't got no proof they ain't cursed." "I'm sure." "Then she's yours." Hollis steps off the platform and waves him up. Randel walks slowly up the steps, then extends a hand. The girl doesn't take it, just walks past him, baby still in her arms, heading toward his horse without a word. He watches her a moment before following. EXT, Wyoming Hills, dusk. The ride is long and silent. The trail winds through dry grass, brittle pines, and open sky that stretches wider than dreams. Randel glances back occasionally. The girl rides stiff but steady. The baby sleeps or maybe just stays still. Hard to tell. A hawk cries in the distance. Shadows stretch across the ground like reaching fingers. EXT, Randel's ranch nightfall. His ranch is remote, weather-beaten. A 2-story home with peeling whitewash, a crooked barn, and a broken fence gate that swings on a single hinge. One grave sits under a cottonwood tree, marked with a wooden cross, and a faded bonnet nailed to it. Randel helps the girl down, but she waves him off. She doesn't speak, doesn't smile, just follows him up the steps, bare feet padding soft on the porch boards. Inside, the place is clean but empty like a church after war. Dust motes dance in slanting light from the oil lamp. A faded rocking chair creaks in the corner. "You can take the room upstairs," Randel says gently. "Used to be my daughter's." The girl pauses at the stairs. "I'm not a skin your story, but if you stay, there's rules. No lies, no locking doors, and you'll eat with me at sundown. Deal?" She stares at him for a long beat, then slowly nods. She disappears up the stairs. Randel stands alone. In the silence, the wind outside picks up. He stares at the old rocking chair, then crosses to it, slowly lowers himself into it, like it's an old argument he's ready to revisit. On the nearby mantel, a picture frame lies face down. He doesn't flip it. EXT, Randel's porch, late night. He sits outside, pipe smoldering, staring at the moon. A soft sound behind him, bare feet on wood. He turns. The girl stands there, baby still in arms. Her face is unreadable, but she walks over and sits beside him, says nothing, just rocks the baby. He glances sideways at her. "You ever seen a coyote birth pups under a wagon?" She shakes her head, the first sign of motion from her all day. "I did." She buried 2, carried the third 3 miles in her mouth, still had the blood on her fur, but she didn't let go. He pauses. The girl doesn't look at him, but her lip quivers. Just once. Randel studies her. "You got that same look in your eyes." She swallows hard, and then she finally whispers, voice cracked like dry wood. "His name is Eli." Randel nods. "Then Eli's got a home now." Fade to black. The wind is colder than yesterday. A thin frost touches the water trough. The sun rises slow over the hills, bleeding pink and orange into the sky. Inside the barn, Randel hauls hay. His breath clouds the air. He hears footsteps behind him, light, careful. He turns. It's the girl. She doesn't speak, but she's holding a feed bucket. Tiny hands, knuckles raw. She looks at him, not asking, just offering. Randel nods. They work in silence. When the chores are done, she follows him back to the house. Ranch house, late morning. At the kitchen table, Randel sets down 2 tin plates. Scrambled eggs, a thin slice of bread. He pours coffee into his own mug and a little milk into a chipped cup for her. She cradles the baby in one arm while eating with the other. Still no smile. But she's here. That's something. "I figure if you're going to stay," Randel says, "I ought to call you something." Can't keep saying girl. "You got a name, right?" She hesitates. "Lottie," she whispers. "Charlotte. But Mama called me Lottie." Randel nods. "Lottie. And the little one's Eli. That makes sense." She looks up. "You still haven't asked where I come from." "I figure you'll tell me when you want to." Lottie studies him for a long beat, then looks down. "My ma died 2 weeks ago. Fever took her. Then the men came." She doesn't elaborate. She doesn't have to. Randel's jaw tightens. "I seen worse folks in sickness," he mutters. EXT, ranch fields later. Randel's chopping wood. His shirt sticks to his back with sweat. Lottie watches from the porch, feeding Eli a spoonful of goat milk mixed with molasses. Suddenly, hoofbeats. Dust on the trail. A rider's silhouette crests the ridge. Randel wipes his brow, sets the axe down, and squints toward the sun. The figure grows clearer. Lean man, long coat, holstered pistols, satchel slung over one shoulder. Something about the way he rides is wrong. Too confident. The rider stops at the fence, dismounts. He tips his hat, then pulls something from the satchel. A folded paper. Worn. Familiar. Randel steps forward, slow and careful. The man unfolds the paper. It's a wanted poster. Lottie's face. A rough sketch. Wild eyes, hair tangled. Crude but recognizable. Drifter. Name unknown. Accused of stabbing 2 men west of Little Fork. Wanted for questioning. $50 bounty. Live delivery. The drifter's voice is slick like oil. Afternoon, sir. Heard tell a man brought a strange girl up this way. Quiet type. Carry in a babe. Seen anyone fit that bill? Randel's silence is a wall. I'm from the marshal's office in Rawlins. Name's Frankwile. Got reason to believe the girl was involved in a double murder. Randel stares. 2 men were found gutted. One of them still had her locket, clenched in his fist. No mother, no preacher, no burial. Just blood. While steps closer. You sure she ain't here? Randel speaks low. If I were you, I'd turn that nag around and ride off before the sun burns a hole in your hat. While smiles. That a threat? That's a warning. While doesn't flinch. Just tucks the poster away. I'll be back. And I won't be a skin ice. He rides off slow, deliberate. Randel turns. Lottie stands behind him. Her face pale. Eyes wide. You saw it? She asks. He nods. I didn't stab them, she says, voice thin. They came into our home. Wanted Ma. Wanted me. They thought since Pa was gone we was easy. She breathes heavy, trying not to cry. Ma tried to fight. She stabbed one. He shot her. I grabbed the knife. I just remember, red. Then I ran. Took Eli. Didn't stop. Randel says nothing for a long time. Then, you don't gotta explain anything to me. I seen men like that, and I seen what this world does to girls who say no. He walks past her, but if he comes back, we'll be ready. In ranch house that night, the storm comes just after sundown. A loud clap of thunder shakes the rafters. Rain lashes the windows. Eli starts to cry, the first time Randel hears it. A shrill, frightened sound. Lottie rocks him near the fire. She's tense. Her hand shakes. Storms don't scare me, she lies. I wasn't always a rancher, Randel says, crouching nearby. Used to scout for the Union. Seen every kind of hell a man can walk through. She looks at him. Why'd you stop? He takes a breath. My wife caught consumption a year after Appomattox. I couldn't save her. My daughter was 6 when she got sick too. Lottie's breath catches. They died here, she asks. He nods, pointing to the grave under the cottonwood. Never could bring myself to leave. The thunder cracks again. Lottie's voice shakes. Do you think God sees us? That he watches places like this? Randel looks into flames. His voice is gravel. Maybe you don't need to. Maybe he made folks like us to look after each other. She wraps the baby tighter. I think I stabbed that man, but I don't remember his face. You don't need to. They sit like that for a long time, just listening to the storm. EXT, barn early morning. Rain still drips from the roof. Randel checks the horses. Lottie appears, pale, trembling. There's someone inside the barn, she whispers. He grabs the rifle from the wall and steps inside. A shape moves behind the hay. Show yourself. Randel calls. A figure rises, tall, wrapped in a wet blanket. Hair black as pitch. Skin weathered bronze. A scar runs from ear to jaw. It's a native man, silent, eyes sharp. Randel doesn't lower the rifle. What's your name? The man slowly raises his hands. Was Broken Elk, he says in quiet English. Now just Elk. Why were you hiding in my barn? Been running. White men shot my brother near Salt River. I took his arrows and ran. They follow still. Lottie enters behind Randel. She meets Elk's eyes, not afraid, not surprised. He can stay, she says. They'll come for us soon. We'll need help. Randel hesitates, then nods. Food and shelter, but you work. This land don't forgive freeloaders. Elk nods once. Int. Ranch house, night. 3 at the table now. Randel. Lottie. Elk. The baby gurgles nearby in a wooden crate, made into a crib. The fire crackles. Thunder rumbles faintly in the distance. Lottie speaks first. Elk, do you believe in signs? He looks at her, then to the fire. There are spirits that walk this earth. Some wear men's faces. Some speak in dreams. But the strongest ones, they are children who survive. Silence. Randel looks to the door, hand on his rifle. Shadows lengthen outside. They'll come soon, he mutters. And when they do... He doesn't finish the sentence. Lottie finishes it for him. We won't run. The sky is bruised. Thunderheads churn above the hills, slow and threatening. A vulture circles lazily overhead. Randel stands near the fence, oiling his rifle. He doesn't look up when Lottie steps beside him. She cradles Eli, bundled against the chill. You think he'll come back today? She asks. Randel nods once. They always come at dawn, when they think you're still dreaming. From the barn, Elk steps out. A silent nod passes between the men. They're ready. EXT, trail approaching the ranch later that morning. Dust rises again. 6 riders. Guns strapped to saddles. Faces hidden beneath dusters and wide-brimmed hats. At the lead, Frank Weil. He rides without urgency, smiling like a man who already knows the ending. Behind him, a deputized bounty gang. Not lawmen. Hired guns. They stop at the gate. Randel stands in the doorway of the ranch house, rifle across his chest. Lottie and Elk stay hidden behind the barn, while lifts a folded paper. I came to do this legal, he calls out. Hand her over, and I'll leave you breathing. Randel spits in the dirt. There ain't nothing legal about 6 men riding to take a girl from her bed. Wild chuckles. You don't know what she did. I know enough. I'll count to 3, Wild says, raising his hand. 1. Randel lifts his rifle. Crack. Gunfire erupts. Randel ducks behind the porch beam. Wood splinters. Bullets whistle. From the barn, Elk moves like a ghost, silent and swift. He looses 2 arrows before a single rider can react. One man drops, gurgling blood. Another stumbles, horse panicking. Lottie clutches Eli in the root cellar beneath the house. She shuts her eyes against the noise. Outside, the battle rages. While shouts flank him, 2 riders charge toward the barn. Randel steps out, fires once. A man falls. Elk stabs another with a broken arrow. It's chaos. Thunder above, thunder below. A bullet grazes Randel's side. He winces, but doesn't fall. His jaw clenches. The memory of losing his wife, his daughter, burns behind his eyes. He sees while dismount, cocking his revolver. The final rider takes a shot toward the house, toward the root cellar. Randel's eyes widen. Flashback. His daughter coughing, reaching for him. I'm scared, Pa. Back in the present. He charges forward. End. Root cellar. Same time. Lottie hears boots above. She clutches Eli tighter. Eyes dart toward the cellar door. The latch lifts. A shadow appears. Wow. Gun drawn. Well, now, he sneers. You made me work for it. Lottie backs against the wall, teeth bared. She doesn't cry. You think he can save you? Wild growls. Men like him break. All of them do. Suddenly, boom. Wild's chest explodes with a shotgun blast. He crumples. Behind him, Randel lowers the smoking gun. Blood drips onto the floor. He staggers, wounded badly now. Bullet through the side. Lottie screams. Stay with me. But Randel collapses to his knees. I'm all right, he lies. I need a minute. Elk rushes in, grabs Randel under the arms, hauls him upstairs. Outside, the surviving gunmen flee. 2 wounded. 1 riderless horse disappears into the trees. EXT, Randel's porch midday. The storm finally breaks. Rain pours from the heavens. Elk binds Randel's wound with cloth torn from a curtain. Randel's breathing is shallow, his face pale. Lottie kneels beside him, soaked, Eli in her arms. You're not dying, she tells him. You can't. Randel smiles weakly. Everyone dies, Lottie. Some folks just choose when. She shakes her head, trembling. You didn't have to save me. You could have let them take me. I'd already buried one daughter, he whispers. I wasn't bearing another. She sobs. But I'm not yours. He closes his eyes. You are now. EXT, ranch, evening. The storm passes. 3 bodies lie covered by tarps. Randel's wound is cleaned. He lies in bed, drifting in and out. Elk prepares horses. Lottie packs bread, a jar of beans, and a folded map. She walks out the grave beneath the cottonwood. Kneels. There, beside the cross of Randel's wife, she plants a second. Simple. Wooden. Bare. She doesn't carve a name. But she leaves something behind. Randel's hat on the post. Int. Ranch house. That night. Lottie kisses Randel's forehead as he sleeps. You gave me more than life, she whispers. You gave me reason. She tucks Eli close to her chest, then disappears into the night. EXT, trail, night. Lottie rides, baby in sling, elk beside her. The world ahead is vast and brutal, but she is not afraid. She is not the same girl who stood on a platform. She is wildfire now. Mist curls over the hills like memory. The grass is greener now, gentler. The wind hums like an old lullaby across the valley. A young woman, around 16, rides alone. Her blonde hair is tied back, her posture proud. In front of her, seated in the saddle, a toddler boy clutches her coat. He laughs as the horse trots. This is Lottie, no longer hollow-eyed or hunched. She rides like she belongs to the land. EXT, Randel's ranch, later that day. The place is worn but cared for. Fence mended. Roof patched. Chickens peck around the coop. Lottie reins in her horse and lifts Eli, now a curious boy of nearly 4, down to the ground. He runs toward the porch where an older man sits, mending a boot. It's Elk. His hair is grayer, his scar deeper, but his eyes still quiet and calm. Eli clambers into his lap. You've been growing again, Elk says, taller than the fence now. Lottie smiles as she walks up. We made it to Cheyenne and back. No trouble. You see the judge. She nods. Name's changed now. Mine and his. She pulls a folded paper from her coat. Official seal of Wyoming Territory stamped in wax. Lottie Briggs. And Elijah Briggs. Just like he wanted. Elk nods slowly. Inside the house, everything's still. Quiet. Lottie steps into the bedroom, now sunlit, filled with plants and books. A wooden rocking chair faces a window. Beside it, a table with a Bible and a faded photograph. A man in uniform, a woman in calico, and a child with a ribbon in her hair. She kneels beside the chair, picks up the Bible. Inside is a single dried cottonwood leaf pressed between the pages. On the first blank page is Randel's handwriting. She came to me with silence and fire. I gave her a roof. She gave me something to believe in again. That's a fair trade. R.B. Lottie's hand trembles as she touches the words. Thank you, she whispers, for every day you gave me, for giving me back to myself. EXT, ranch graveyard, sunset. 3 markers now beneath the cottonwood. Sarah Briggs, beloved wife and mother. Little May, our brightest star. Randel Briggs, he stood his ground. Lottie places a jar of wildflowers between the graves. She kneels beside Eli. Say hello to your grandpa. Eli blinks, then waves the crosses. Hi, Grandpa, he says softly. I brought flowers. Lottie kisses the top of his head. He'd like that. They sit in silence as the sun bleeds into the horizon. Flashback, years earlier. Randel and Lottie sit on the porch. He shows her how to oil a rifle. She's clumsy, focused. He's patient. You don't fight the world to win, he tells her. You fight to remind that you ain't afraid of bleeding. Back to present. Lottie walks with Eli through the house one last time. The rooms echo with memory, laughter, firelight, quiet singing in the storm. She pauses at the door, looks back, then steps into the dawn. EXT, Church in Cheyenne weeks later. A small wooden chapel. Bell ringing. Inside, voices sing softly. Lottie stands at the back, Eli in her arms. In the front pews, orphan children. Runaways. Girls with bruises fading. Boys who've forgotten how to smile. Lottie kneels and pulls something from her coat. A gold locket. Simple, worn. She opens it. Inside, a tiny sketch of her mother, and Randall's name carved carefully with a penknife. She places it into the church's offering box. Elk watches from outside. He nods. A new chapter begins. EXT, wide open prairie, day. Lottie rides again. Eli now rides his own small pony, trying to copy her posture. They ride past a sign hammered into the ground. The Briggs home for the lost and found. Children's voices echo from beyond the hill. Laughter. Hope. Montage. A girl is led up the path, carrying a torn doll. Lottie opens the door for her. Elk teaches a boy how to shoot a bow. Eli hands bread to a hungry traveler. Final scene. Porch at dusk. Lottie sits with Elk. Eli sleeps in a blanket nearby. A breeze rustles the wind chimes. The cottonwood tree stands tall in the distance, branches waving like old friends. Lottie whispers, more to the wind than to anyone, "I'm not afraid anymore." She looks at the stars rising above the prairie. "I carry them all with me now. Ma, Randel, the girl I used to be." Elk nods. There's a kind of strength in remembering. They sit together in the silence. The moon rises. Crickets sing. The story doesn't end. It simply echoes, like hoofbeats on the dust, like love passed from hand to hand, like the prairie wind whispering to the next lost soul.